When you open the workshop item editor, the first thing you notice is that there are 9 different folders in which you can put your newly created skin. The folder you choose will decide the type or finish style of your skin. Understanding the difference between those finish styles is very important and can significantly change the look of your skin. So, in today's video, we'll discuss all of them. What's the purpose of each one, the difference between them, and how our skins will look depending on the finish style. Let's start with the easiest styles and get them out of our way. The solid color and anodized styles, which are the least interesting of all available options. Starting with the solid style, you create the skin by playing with these 4 color fields. If we click inspect with the 5-7 chosen, this is what we get. 4 different colors unmixed and applied to different parts of the weapon. You have the option of changing the positions of the RGB masks using the custom paint by number mask option. You can also control the roughness of the skin either by changing the overall roughness value, per color mask, or using a roughness texture that follows the UV sheet of the weapon. You can also control the metalness and durability of the skin per the color masks, and you can also add normal and AO maps as well as pearlescent effect. I will go in more detail about all the fields that I mentioned later on in the video. The anodized style is a bit similar to the solid color style, but is somehow less interesting. This style makes your colored parts of your skin metallic, but you only have one color to apply to the skin. Again, using the custom paint by number mask, you can specify which parts of the weapon get the colors. You can also provide a roughness texture, as well as normal and AO maps and pearlescent effect. I won't waste more time on those 2 finish styles because Valve specify in their documentation that you shouldn't use them. They're basically useless, so you should simply forget about them and ignore that they even exist. Now, why are they here in the first place? They have been used only by Valve to create some of the boring skins they used to add in the old collections, like the MP9 Hot Rod and the Scar Contractor. There are 0 instances of community skins that use those styles. So why are they available to us in the workshop item editor? It's because, just shut up, okay? Alright, now that we got those 2 out of the way, now we're off to the important stuff. Let's talk about the custom paint job style. This style uses a colored image to color the skin. This image, which is called the albedo texture, follows the UV sheet of the weapon. So for example, if I color this side of the weapon in Blender, I can see the color appearing on the corresponding area in the UV sheet. And if I create a new skin with this image as the albedo map, then the game will recognize that this is how the skin with this albedo map should look like. For the custom paint job, we can add 5 image maps: an albedo map, a normal map, a roughness map, an ambient occlusion map, and a pearlescent mask. Of all these maps, only the albedo is a must and the rest are optional. However, unless your skin is a purely painted skin, I very strongly suggest that you at least add a normal and a roughness maps to your skin. Otherwise, it will look very dull and unconvincing. Now, what I described for the albedo map, when it comes to the custom paint job style, the same applies for the rest of the maps. All of them follow the UV sheet of the weapon. So, in order to create a good custom paint job skin, you open the 3D texturing tool of your choice. If you watch my channel regularly, you'll know that my choice is and always be Blender. Create the texture of your skin, then bake the albedo map, which in Blender is done with the diffuse option with only the color checkbox checked. Then bake the normal map, which defines the geometry of the texture, the roughness map, which defines how rough or shiny the texture is, and the AO map, which defines how the texture reacts to ambient lighting, and save them as TGA files. Then open the albedo map in your favorite photo editing tool and add an alpha channel to it. An alpha channel with a dark gray value will prevent the colors of the skin from wearing out quickly. You can also add some Easter eggs for the worn levels by coloring specific areas with a lighter gray. If you're interested in Easter eggs, then check out this video where I talk about it in full detail. When you're done, take all the TGA images and copy them to the workshop item editor's repository and set them in their appropriate fields in the editor. And finally, when we click inspect, we get a similar result like the one in Blender. And if we check the skin in battle scarred level, we'll see our Easter eggs on the skin. So everything I said is nice and good. But the question that we need to ask is why or when should we use the custom paint job style? The answer is whenever you want. Who am I to tell you what to do? But the best cases for custom paint style skins are textured skins that don't contain metal. For example, if your skin only contains wood or plastic, then this finish style would be a good choice. Also, painted skins like the Neo Noir work well with custom paint job. Speaking of metal, let's move on to the Patina style. Patina skins support all the maps available for the custom paint job, as well as a new map called the Custom Patina Mask. But before we get to this new mask, let's change the finish style of our skin to the Patina style and see how it will affect its look. So this is how the skin looks now. We can deduce from what we see several things. First, as with the custom paint job, with the Patina style, all the maps follow the UV sheet of the weapon. The normals and roughness of the skin have been maintained in all of the weapon, and the colors stayed the same in the main body. However, we can notice that the skin colors have been lost in the stock, pump, and barrel of the weapon, and instead the default texture appears. We can also see that the barrel and the main body of the weapon are now fully metallic. So why is that? This is the default behavior of the Patina style. For every weapon, there are parts that get colored with the albedo map colors, and the rest is substituted with the default texture. Good news though, we can actually change that behavior so that the skin would include the albedo colors in the areas that we choose, and we can do so using the custom Patina mask field. I've created this mask which has all the yellow areas, as well as the barrel of my skin colored with white, and the dark gray color is colored with black. White in this mask means that the area should be colored with the albedo map colors, and black means that the default texture will be displayed. Let's see how the skin is affected with this mask enabled. Now we can see that the areas colored with white have gone back to be yellow, the color of the barrel is the brighter gray color from the albedo map, and the areas corresponding to the black areas in the mask have the default texture. Now let's take a quick look at the color fields in the editor. As we saw with the solid color style, we have 4 colors, but this time the purpose and effect of the Patina colors are different. The base metal, Patina wear, and grime are related to how the skin wears. The Patina tint controls the tint of the entire skin. If I change it to something like red, then you can see the colored areas of the skin dominantly turning to red. I usually set this value to fully white in order to maintain the colors I chose in the albedo map, but you can use the Patina tint for minor color corrections. I suggest that you don't go nuts with it as I did with the red color just now. So we see that the Patina skin is used to give the skin a metallic look for the areas we specify with white in the Patina mask, while the rest gets the default texture. In this case, the question that needs to be asked is how can we mix the behavior of the custom paint job and the Patina style so that parts of the weapon look metallic while the rest maintains the albedo colors. For that, the good guys at Valve kindly provided us with another finish style called Gunsmith. The Gunsmith style is a mixture of the custom paint job and the Patina styles, and supports all the maps available for the Patina. But the custom Patina mask image is now named the custom material mask. This mask is what decides which parts of the gun are custom paint and which are Patina. White areas of the mask are Patina, which will look metallic and are affected by the 4 colors in the same way we saw a moment ago. The black areas get the custom paint job behavior, which means no metalness, and the wear of the skin is controlled by the alpha channel of the albedo map. I'll set the material mask to be the same black and white image I used for the custom Patina mask, and hit inspect to see how the skin looks now. And as we can see, the albedo map is fully covering the skin, with the yellow parts and the barrel looking metallic, while the other parts are non-metallic but with the colors preserved. And if we inspect the skin in Battle Scarred again, we see the metallic areas wearing as if the skin is using the Patina style, and the Easter egg we added on the non-metallic area wears as if the skin was custom paint job. Okay, moving on to something different. Let's talk about finish styles dedicated to pattern skins. And we'll start with the Hydrographic style. Instead of using a baked albedo map, this style uses a pattern image like this one, which is composed of red, green, blue, and black colors. The colors of the pattern are then substituted with the values of the 4 color fields. Each of the RGB colors in the pattern acts as its own mask, and the black colors get the value specified in the base coat. And if we inspect how the skin looks in game, this is what we get. We can deduce a few things from what we see here. First, we can see that despite this style using pattern masks, it still gives the UV sheet of the weapon the respect it deserves. The pattern is applied on each UV part separately. Think of it as if the gun was disassembled into separate pieces, then the pattern was applied on each piece, and then it was reassembled. However, because of this, note that using this finish style will create seams in the skin. We can clearly see that the pattern is not continuous between the different parts of the weapon. So if that's a problem for you, then the hydrographic style isn't what you're looking for. Now, besides how the pattern is applied, we can also see that the pattern doesn't cover the entire weapon. In the case of the AK, the magazine, the barrel, and some other small parts have been given other solid colors. That's because by default, for every gun, there are predefined areas that have the pattern applied to them, while the rest get colored with the colors of the green and blue mask fields. This default behavior can be modified using the custom paint by number mask. This mask tells the game which parts of the gun get the pattern, which is specified by the red color, and which parts get the green and blue mask colors. So if I set this image to be the custom paint by number mask, this is how the skin will look like. If you're interested in creating pattern skins, then do check out my pattern skins video where I discuss this topic in more detail. And one final thing worth mentioning about the hydrographic style is the fact that it supports wear control using the alpha channel. If you set a dark alpha across the pattern image, then the areas where the pattern appears will be preserved in worn levels. So to summarize, the hydrographic finish style is suitable for those who want to create a pattern skin and they don't need it to be seamless. Next on the list is the Anodized Multicolored style. This finish style answers the question, how can we make a skin style similar to the hydrographic, but worse? The two styles are quite similar. It's a pattern-based skin style where you upload an RGB pattern image and the colors are substituted with the color mask fields of the editor. It also follows the UV sheet of the gun and allows wear control through the alpha channel of the pattern image. But unlike the hydrographic style, here the non-pattern parts, which are given the blue or green masks, are metallic. However, things start becoming stupid when you take a look at the paint by number mask. With the anodized multicolored skins, whatever you paint red or black will get the pattern. However, if you paint anything with blue or green, then those parts get the default weapon textures. So the amount of control with this style is quite limited. As you can see, my list of anodized multicolored skins is empty and I intend to keep it that way. Our next finish style is the spray paint. Again, this is a style dedicated to pattern skins, however, it's quite different from the previous two we saw. This style does not work with the UV sheet of the weapon. Instead, it uses a process called triplanar mapping, where the pattern is applied on the full weapon sides as portrayed in Valve's official documentation. This means that pattern skins that use the spray paint style are much more seamless because there won't be sudden cuts caused by the UV parts separation. However, keep in mind that your pattern image should also be seamless, otherwise seams will happen. Spray pattern skins are normally not metallic. However, as we saw with some of the other styles, you can control the metalness of the skin by color using the fields below, as well as the roughness and the durability. Oh, and speaking of durability, wear control through the alpha channel is not supported here. So your only means of wear control are the paint durability fields of the editor. Now going back to how the pattern is applied, although the pattern image doesn't recognize the UV sheet of the weapon, which is also true for the roughness map and the pearlescent mask, it is not true for the normal and AO maps. For the normal and AO, the UV sheet is taken into consideration, which means that they are fixed in place and will not change per skin drop. Moving on to the final finish style, which is the Anodized Airbrush. This style is quite similar to spray paints and also doesn't follow the UV sheet of the weapon. I guess the main difference between the two is that, as the name hints, the anodized airbrush gives a metallic look for the skin. So if you know that your pattern skin should be metallic, then go for the anodized airbrush. Otherwise, go for the spray paint, where you have more control of your skin and can even make parts or all of it to be metallic. And I guess that covers all the finish styles available in CS2. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my YouTube membership perks, which will help you become a better CS skin creator. Until next time, take care and see you soon.